Hi everybody, my name is Sergio Cisneros. It's great that you are visiting my channel and that you are part of this new project in which I'm going to share all my knowledge and experiences as a cyclist of the surroundings of Mexico City. And today I want to speak to you about a topic that has stolen my sleep since I began to practice cycling as a sport and also as commuter. And it is, why do some car drivers rage against the cyclists, and what happens inside of their minds that makes them act so aggressively against somebody who is clearly not in the same condition. And first of all, this video is not about good people versus bad people or cyclists versus car drivers. For this video, I want to focus on this teeny minority that can be a potential danger for everybody else, not only for cyclists. And in order to answer the questions I have made, I did a little research, and I will put the links in the description of the articles I have read, so feel free to read more about this hot topic. And what I found it is that what can explain this intriguing phenomena is the concept of a free rider. This concept is widely used in the sociology, psychology, and economics. And it says that a free rider is a person who gets a huge benefit from a community without paying something in exchange. And how this concept fit into our dilemma, may you wonder? Well, for that, I invite you to use your imagination and think that we are stuck in a traffic jam without moving us any further. And then suddenly, a cyclist appeared, and he or she is passing through the cars effortless and smoothly while we are stuck and without doing anything. Obviously, the cyclist is getting a huge benefit from the road that originally is designed for cars without paying the amount of stress we are feeling at that moment. And if we add that cyclists do not pay any kind of tax, that at least in Mexico City cyclists are allowed to pass the red lights, and finally and obviously that cyclists do not use any kind of fuel, we can see that cyclists indeed have huge benefits. So what happens inside of the car driver mind, it is first a feeling of injustice for all the benefits I have mentioned, and then of punishment. And why punishment, may you wonder? It is because when we are stuck in a traffic jam, a community is created. And when there is a community, there are rules and justice. Let's imagine again that we are stuck in the traffic jam and suddenly the cars start to move. The car in front of us goes 15 meters forward, and so we. And the car in front of us goes 50 meters forward, and so we, and so on, and so on, and so on. In that way, it is how an order and justice is created. Until the cyclist appeared and breaks all this psychological order through his or her maneuvers when he or she is passing through the cars. And if we add also that being in a car in some way anonymize the driver, because the driver is in a sort of cage of metal and plastic, and that in some extreme cases this can also dehumanize the driver in some extent, we can see that the cyclist is in a very weak position when he or she is in the traffic, not only in a traffic jam, but in the general traffic. So what could we do as cyclists and also as car drivers? As a cyclist, of course, we have to pay a lot of attention to our environment, and for this advice, I don't want to victimize any cyclists because there are also imprudent cyclists that do very dangerous maneuvers when they are on the roads. And in my personal experience, not all car drivers are monsters behind a steering wheel. That's why I said in the beginning that this video is not cyclist versus car drivers. But please take into consideration that you, as a cyclist, don't know what kind of car driver will you meet when you are on the road. So always consider that in some point of your route you will encounter this teeny minority which I have already described. And my advice for car drivers, it is, yes, of course, we cyclists are free riders. We erupt the psychological order of the traffic, but try to see us as a special free rider, because now that a lot of people is practicing cycling, most of them are improving their health, and in some way they also are avoiding degenerative illnesses like diabetes and overweight. And if we look at the big picture, also having a healthy society means that the government and the families do not have to spend in trying to solve these illnesses, these degenerative illnesses. And it is a huge benefit for the entire society. I know that doing that kind of mental exercise is something difficult when you are under a huge amount of stress in that traffic jam, but at least try it. So, finally, did you like my explanation? Do you have another that is better? Do you like this kind of content that I create? Please tell me in the comments below. I will be very happy to read all of them. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to click the bell. For me, this is all. We see us. Bye.